Hey everyone, Crystal Grace here and welcome back to another Picka card reading. In this instance, it's Picka Crock Plug. So this one is all about what are people's thoughts and feelings about you today. We have 3 piles to choose from, pile 1, pile 2 and pile 3. Quick disclaimer, while you're connecting with one of the crock plugs, please only take what resonates. If a message puts you on a downward spiral, that message is simply not for you. Please opt off of the reading, as my intention is never to put you in some kind of negative headspin or conjure negative messages to put you in a negative headspace. So with that said, let's jump into it. Let's find out what people's thoughts and feelings are of you today. Pile number 1, welcome to your reading. So those of you who chose this rainbow butterfly, welcome. Welcome back to my existing subscribers and welcome to anyone who is new. I'm really being drawn to the blue on this butterfly. So I feel like a lot of you either have a overactive throat chakra or an underactive. So some of you are very vocal and others of you are not so vocal. I also feel like you could take a page out of each other's books here. So for those of you with an overactive throat chakra, the vibe I'm sort of picking up is and this is likely connecting with the people's like thoughts and feelings, is like you guys might speak the harsh truths in life in general. So I feel like for a lot of you who have picked this pile and you have the overactive throat chakra, is that you say what you think, you say what you see. You don't have a tendency to hold back. You definitely don't sugarcoat things to allow somebody not to really hear the truth. Whilst on the other hand, those of you who have an active throat chakra, you're not speaking up. Like you're saying a lot, but you're not doing a lot or not saying a lot. So this could be in the sense of like, a friend coming to you and they're in a toxic relationship and you just sort of sit there and listen. You don't provide any sort of insight. Maybe it's because you just don't see the point, because they're only going to go running back to them. But that's sort of one analogy or example coming through. And then like another one is like allowing people to sort of like just do stuff to you and you just accepting it because you aren't a very confrontational person, is sort of the vibe I'm picking up. So if you sound like one or both of those, because sometimes we can have an overactive throat chakra at maybe work, but an unactive throat chakra in a romantic relationship. So take that as it resonates. So let's jump into it. Let's find out what people's thoughts and feelings are of you today. Pile number 1. So we're not doing reversals because I want to connect with imagery here. So that's their thoughts, right? 3 cards for thoughts, and we're going to pull 3 cards for feelings. All right, so we have the 7 of Coins as the overall energy. We have 2 of Cups, the Death, and the High Priestess for thoughts. And for feelings, we have the Knight of Swords, 3 of Cups, and the 8 of Swords. Look, so people's thoughts of you today. The vibe I pick up with the 7 of Coins overall energy. So thoughts is that you're a person who invests time and energy into things that may seem not fruitful in the beginning, but end up becoming very fruitful. You may invest time and energy into jobs or hobbies or relationships very differently to those around you. So when you're with somebody, you're really with somebody. You're not like a half foot in, half foot out. So people's thoughts of you is that you're very trusting and you're very loyal is the vibe I'm picking up. Like you want to see your relationships grow. You want to see the better, the best in every situation. You want to see the best outcome in every situation is a thought of most people around you, which is, it's really positive. Like overall, when I look at all of these cards, it's highly positive. The Two of Cups vibe here, people's thoughts of you could be the fact that you are dating a lot, or they might think that you have a lot of potential to date a lot. So take that as it resonates. The more I look at this imagery, people's thoughts of you could be that you are very social. They might see you out and about, socializing with people, maybe in a bar, but you're always with new people. People's thoughts of you is that you have a lot of acquaintances or you have a lot of friends here with the Two of Cups. I also see that here with the Three of Cups. But yeah, their thoughts here with the alcohol as well is that maybe you do drink a lot, right? You do like to socialize, and every time people do see you, you're either talking about drinking or you're going to drink. And if that doesn't resonate, just disregard it. She looks quite athletic and so does he. So, it doesn't necessarily mean there's alcohol in those drinks. It could be simply a mocktail. Non-alcoholic beverage. But yeah, she is highly attractive, and so is he in this imagery. So people's thoughts of you is that you might go on a lot of dates because you are highly attractive. This doesn't necessarily mean that you are going on a lot of dates, pile number one, but how you look, people's thoughts about how you look is that, and they think that, anyway, we'll get to a High Priestess, but their thoughts on based off how you look, is that you would go on a lot of dates, or you might get asked out on a lot of dates because you're highly attractive here. The Death card here is a very, it's a very unique imagery. Like, I don't know this might sound a bit gruesome, but we have life around the baby, but not so much the woman. Her eyes could be just shut, but has she died and then the baby is born? So, an ending and a beginning. And that live song, Lightning Crashes, is coming through here. So my condolences if any of you, may have lost a mother whilst they were conceiving you or giving birth to you, or maybe some of you have lost a baby whilst giving birth. And again, my condolences. That is one of the most traumatic things a woman could go through, and the father as well. But yeah, this Death card sort of gives me the vibe. People's thoughts of you is you're somebody who has had a lot of traumatic endings, but those endings brought a new life to you, a new experience to you, a new chapter to you. Either way, I feel like there has been a major transformation with you guys, and people's thoughts of you is that you have transformed from a very dark situation, is what I pick up with the Death card. Now, the High Priestess, it's an interesting imagery here. I feel like people's thoughts of you, it's very organized individual sitting here, but see how she does not look like the same, she's the same person, but she's all dolled up in the mirror, if you can see that. So I kind of feel like people's thoughts of you is that you are quite glamorous, pile one. Her high ponytail and her neat and tidy clothing here or attire, it just sort of screams to me that you're a well presented or well put together person based off your appearance. So there's a high emphasis or fixation on your appearance. Like when people think about you, they think about how you look. And I feel strongly that majority of these people connecting with this reading, pile one, very much find you easy on the eyes. So let's look at the feelings, right? This looks like there's a lot of erratic situation going on here. He's on a skateboard, there's spray paint, there's graffiti. So people's feelings of you could be quite chaotic. They might have a lot of feelings for you. Some of you may attract a lot of people who have commitment issues here, is what I feel with the Knight of Swords. People's feelings about you could be that maybe because of their thoughts about your appearance is what makes them feel non-committal to you, or maybe they struggle to be committed to you because they feel like they won't be able to compete with like competition. Okay, so with the Knight of Swords, I feel like feelings towards you, how people feel about you, is a lot. Like there's a lot of strong, hard and fast feelings when they look upon you, when they get to know you, when they bond with you as friends. With the Three of Cups here, I just feel like people feel it's very easy to connect with you. Like they feel like they've known you for a very long time. They feel like they can just talk to you as if they were talking to a friend that they've known for 10, 20 years. They just find you very relatable here. They feel like they can just bond very easy with you, befriend you very easily. And this doesn't matter if it's, friends of friends, colleagues. People's feelings in the base of Three of Cups is they feel really familiar with you. Like they feel like things are just naturally easy. You accept everyone for who they are, and people feel that. They feel very comfortable in your presence, and they feel genuinely like a friend feels when they're in your presence, or as they're like sort of getting to know you on a journey with you. Now, the Eight of Swords is an interesting card. We have a person sitting with a mask, like gloves. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 locks on the door. I feel like based off this energy, I think you have a lot of people who feel very trapped in their feelings in regards to how do they express it. I think you may have a lot of people, especially coming back to that Knight of Swords message, you may have a lot of people who are very, have a lot of feelings towards you, want to take action towards you, but they can't. The idea of taking actions towards you makes them feel very like trapped within, like they can't speak, they can't move. You might actually find some people might actually struggle to talk to you, pile one, but you may not actually pick up on it because you are this friendly person who will just start dialect when you're in a group. Like you're happy to be the talker. Kind of coming back to that overactive throat chakra, it could be more directed at you guys, but you underactive throat chakras, I still feel like you resonate with, you bond with people pretty easily. Like you give everyone the benefit of the doubt. And the Eight of Swords, how people feel about you is that you are like the cream of the crop, I feel, in your community. And people naturally with the Eight of Swords just feel very trapped within their emotions because they don't know how to take action towards somebody who seems to have it all. You're very organized, you're very well put together, like you look good on paper, but you are good on paper. Just because it looks good on paper doesn't mean it is, but you seem to be the real deal in the eyes of these people. So that is what I have for you guys. Let me know down in the comments if that resonated, if you feel comfortable to do that. I send all my love and light to you. Bye. Pile number 2, welcome to your reading. So those of you who chose, I don't know if this is the PlayStation buttons or it's maybe Xbox. It's definitely game related. So I feel like for a lot of you who have picked this pile, you might like to play games, like you might like to play board games, computer games, mobile app games, PlayStation, Xbox, PC, whatever, Sims even. But I think you're very playful people either way. I think you guys bring a lot to the table when it comes to fun. I think you're quite quirky. You definitely know how to read a room. And when you read that energy, you have a tendency to know what kind of like humor you can bring to that room, to that conversation, what people sort of need to hear. So I feel like a lot of you are probably empaths in this pile. Really playful. I do feel like you're quite cute. Some of you are quite petite. You definitely have this playful aura, playful energy about you. And I think genuinely like people when they, finish having an experience with you or hanging out with you, they feel very much like they've been put on in a high vibrational like energy. Like they walk away in a different kind of energy field than what they did prior to hanging out with you. So let's find out people's thoughts and feelings. So I'm going to pull 3 cards for their thoughts and then 3 cards for their feelings. We're not taking reversals because I want to connect with imagery. Nope. Show me 3 cards for thoughts. A Don Juan. Fatal Feminine. So they're the thoughts. Now show me feelings about pile 2. People's feelings towards pile 2. Page of Wands. On the bottom of the deck, we have 9 of Pentacles. So, people's thoughts of the Devil, the Queen of Cups, the Ace of Wands. Let me just fix that. Their feelings is 5 of Wands, King of Swords, and the Page of Wands. Now, over here with the 9 of Pentacles, we have this business person who's got their mind on their money and their money on their mind. Maybe they're looking at building a home. 9 of Pentacles is obviously a very highly positive card. So people definitely feel like you are high value, I would have to say. You're a person who is going to go places is what I feel. You could be business orientated. You could be fixated on your career at this time. We do see a lot of that down here in feelings and even up here. But one thing I'm noticing here is 9 of Pentacles can talk about somebody living the single life. So if you're not single, just disregard it. People might just think you would be better off single. But I think for the most of you, people's thoughts of you is and feelings is that if you are single, you do it really well. Single looks good on you. You know how like some people need to be in a relationship and there's nothing wrong with that, each their own. But for a lot of you, you're doing something in your life on your own, and people's thoughts about that is that you are highly smart. We have the King of Swords really reiterating that message as well. But the 9 of Coins here tells me that people see you as somebody who's very abundant. They feel that you are better off single for some of you because you're chasing something that would require just you to be single. So I don't know what that means. If you feel comfortable to share that with us down in the comments, please do. But yeah, the 9 of Pentacles definitely gives me the vibe like we think about Baby Empress with the 9 of Pentacles. So this sort of gives me the feeling that a lot of people see you as somebody who's going to be very, very successful if you're not already there. So they already see you as, think of you as somebody who's successful, or they see you on your way to becoming very successful. So let's look at the thoughts. So we have the Devil, the Queen of Cups, and the Ace of Wands. Now the Devil we have literally in the background, in the shadow here, we have a dawn drawn. We have 2 girls here. People's thoughts of you. I don't know if for some of you, if you are living that single life, like I'm hearing Man-Eater and, you know, by Nelly Furtado. Great song. But I kind of feel like doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman, people's thoughts of you is because you're this very abundant go-getter person who's got a lot to offer, probably in financial assets. People with the Devil think of you as somebody who could have multiple lovers or have any kind of lover you want. They think of you as somebody that have people throwing themselves at you. That people might actually think in regards to the Devil, it's about unhealthy attachment. So they might think of you as somebody who has an unhealthy attachment, maybe to sex, maybe to relationships, maybe to having multiple lovers. It could be substance abuse here as well, but I'm sort of basing my reading today based off the imagery. See, with the Queen of Cups, she's dining alone. And the thing with the Devil energy and the Queen of Cups here, and here they're doing a PowerPoint presentation, but it just gives me the vibe. People think of you as somebody who's very independent, does not care about being alone, doesn't care about going to the movies alone. You're a person who can do life very easily on your own. You're highly independent. People might think you are somebody who dabbles in some kind of naughty behavior, is what I feel. Here with the Devil. It could even be like that you may buy the services of like escorts and things like that. Again, take that as it resonates. I know a lot of you are going to be like, oh, I don't buy escorts. But you could. You never know, and no judgment if you do. Who cares? Yeah, like she's sitting there happily on her own in a pretty dress. Very conservative, right? She looks like she's even celebrating. We have a bottle of champagne here. People think you are very high-end, high class here. You don't need anybody to pay for your dinner, pay for your your bills, your home. You are very self-sufficient. You have high growth when it comes to financial abundance is what I think people think. Now, some of you may just look like you have a lot of financial abundance and you may sit here and go, well, I actually don't, but you present yourself well. So that is something just to think about, because we're only asking about people's thoughts of you. The Ace of Wands. Congratulations for getting visa. So it's an interesting Ace of Wands, really. For some reason, I think about the Ace of Wands. It's a very creative energy. It's a very sexual energy as well. If we were to there's something about sex. People's thoughts of you, maybe it's like they think about sex with you. Maybe you do look like a damsel in distress. And maybe the idea of having sex with somebody who seems to be so perfect would be quite invigorating, is what I feel people's thoughts are. I think you have a lot of people who think about having sex with you, is what I think with this. Like, there's a lot of people who maybe want to have a threesome with you. They might want to ask you to go and have a threesome with them and their partner, because you kind of present yourself like this. I feel like a lot of you, a lot of people's thoughts of you is like you're their dream girl with this Queen of Cups, or dream guy. You have that energy about you that seems quite comforting, and I feel like people feel very drawn to you from a spiritual level, as opposed to like physique. There's something about your energy that really draws people in, and they're very intrigued because of that. So yeah, this Ace of Wands kind of gives me this energy, or this feeling that people's thoughts of you is that you are quite creative, spontaneous, is what I feel like. People think that they don't really know what your next move is with this Ace of Wands. They think of you as somebody who's going down one path, and then next minute you're applying for a visa and you're going traveling. So some of you could have no children, and you have that ability to just sort of drop everything and move to another country or go traveling. And people's thoughts of you with this Ace of Wands is that you're a person who's very spontaneous. I do see the Knight of Wands sort of adventurous side here. You're a person who likes to plan as well. Like, you're always planning your next move, but you don't necessarily shout it from the rooftop. People find out about your plans once they're in motion, is what I feel or think here. So now moving into people's feelings towards you, it's interesting to have the Five of Wands, the King of Swords, and the Page of Wands. Again, we have a lot of fire energy here. So I definitely feel confident in saying that people's thoughts and feelings towards you are very sexual. I feel with the Five of Wands, people feel like they would have to compete for your time and your attention if they were to pursue you here with the Five of Wands. We have two people at work sort of fighting. So I feel like people feel like if they were to go into a relationship with you, Poetry, they would always come second to your job, to your career here, because you seem to be very focused on goals. You seem to be very driven towards goals and dreams. Now we have a chessboard here on the King of Swords card. So that tells me people's feelings towards you is that they would have to come towards you in a very strategic manner. They would have to come to you in like maybe a King of Swords energy. So they'd have to show their intelligence, that they can articulate in a way that's very sophisticated and like eye-catching for you. You know, they would really have to put in the time and effort into how they're going to woo you, how they're going to capture your time and your attention here, because you're not a person who wastes time, is what I see. Like, this person is very planned. They're very organized. There's not a lot of mess in these cards. Like, there's no mess really. So I feel like King of Swords, people feel like you are very smart. You're highly, you are highly intuitive here with the Queen of Cups, but you're highly intelligent. Like, you are the yin and the yang. You're really in the 3D, but you're also in the 5D is what I feel here. People feel that you are some kind of champion here. Like, you are a champion in your own, like, race is what I feel. Everything you've conquered, you conquered on your own. You're not afraid to play alone either, right? You're not afraid to be alone. You're not afraid to just do anything alone. And I think that puts people off a little bit, because how do they take action towards somebody who seems very happy on their own, who does single really well? Like, that's, I feel for a lot of you, is where people are out with their feelings. And even with the 5 of Wands, they probably feel like even if they do take action towards you, pile 2, they feel like there's going to be competition. Like, they're going to have to fight other people to get your time and attention here. Now, the Page of Wands here, I just, again, feel like people would have to take some kind of creative approach towards you. They feel like they can't just come at you erratically, messy, like their life has to be organized, their life has to be put together. They have to show you that, you know, they feel they have to show you that they've got goals, they've got hopes, they've got dreams, and they've got a plan in place. They're already on that path to achieving those goals and dreams before taking this action. So if you are like putting that out there, pile 2, that like you're done attracting people who don't have goals or dreams, have really low ambitions, I feel at the moment you are attracting people who find you quite intimidating. There is a sense of inferior because they feel that you're above them or like 10 steps ahead of them in the sense of like success. But I don't necessarily think that's a bad thing. It just shows that people respect you and admire your efforts to date, which is fantastic. So that is what I have for you guys. Let me know down in the comments if you enjoyed that, and I will see you next time. Bye. Pile number 3, welcome to your reading. So we have this cute little cupcake. I feel like a lot of you are quite eccentric. You might wear really bright colored like eyeshadow, makeup. You might have bright colored hair. You guys might like to party. You might like to do like kids' birthday parties. Like, you go all out with like cupcakes and cakes and balloons and decorations. Either way, like, when you are celebrating, you celebrate in style is what I feel here. And I think a lot of people really appreciate the time and energy you invest in, you know, making them feel special on their special days. I think a lot of you may like, when it's somebody's birthday, you're the person who will bring a birthday cake, or you're the person who will be the first one to start singing happy birthday. You're very cheerful either way. You're really young at heart. You may have an affiliation or connection with unicorns as well, is what I'm seeing. All right, so we're going to find out what people's thoughts and feelings are of you today. We're going to pull 3 cards for their thoughts and 3 cards for their feelings. I'm not taking reversals because I'm connecting with imagery today. So let's find out people's thoughts. There is the sun. Beautiful. What are people's thoughts? And people's feelings towards you. This deck is very interesting because like all the court cards have a tendency of sitting at tables. All right, so we have the Knight of Cups here. A person waiting. Isn't that funny? We do have balloons here. So there is something about, so the Knight of Cups is a highly positive card. You know, people will see you as somebody who's very charming, very charismatic, somebody who's very like giving as well here. You're also very patient. And you're happy to wait. Like, you're not a person who's going to sort of like blow up when somebody's running late, is what I feel. But this really connects with the croc energy. I feel like this definitely shows me that people think of you as somebody that makes them feel very special and very seen. So whether it's in your friendships or in your romantic relationships, people feel seen, they feel heard, they feel loved, is what I pick up with that Knight of Cups. So we have the Sun, the Knight of Wands, the Three of Swords in regards to people's thoughts. People think of you like there is a yin and the yang here. There is, we'll get there. It's interesting to even see the Three of Swords in the row with the Sun, but people's thoughts of you is that you're a person. I kind of get the impression, I'm going to talk to these cards in sequence, because if I don't, it won't really make sense. I feel like some of you, people might think of you as somebody that, because you are so giving and loving, that you might be, you might present yourself as somebody who's really happy and out there, but you're a person who is dealing with a lot internally. They think of you as somebody who is highly stressed and actually down and out at the moment. If you've recently broken up, they might think of you as somebody who's faking it till they make it. They think of you as somebody who is trying to overcome some kind of grief or loss here. Now, when I see this horse in the background, I see this angry person with the Three of Swords. Some of you could have had a recent financial pitfall. Okay, so you are trying to, they think of you as somebody who's trying to rise up again. You're trying to overcome some kind of hardship, some kind of loss or grief that has likely got something to do with finances. It could be love. It could be losing a loved one to the other side as well here, as I see the crosses on the pillow. But connecting with these cards as a sequence, he's on a computer, he is showing signs of distress. Horses in Australia are affiliated with gambling, each their own, but like they found, I'm not going to go down there, it's not about that, but there's some kind of financial loss here is what I feel. People think of you as somebody that you can go through hardships, yet you still are their ray of sunshine as well here with the Sun. Like, people think of you as somebody that even though you are going through something quite heavy and shit, that you still bring the light. You still bring happiness to their life. You are very selfless is what I hear. And I think people see you as somebody, just be mindful that people might think of you as somebody who can be easily walked all over. So I just want to acknowledge that download message coming through here. But yeah, like, it's funny, we've got horses on the rug here, horses over here. So some of you may like to ride horses. You may have a thing for horses. Your spirit animal could be a horse, or you could be the year of the horse. Either way, you know, it could even be like, you know, when you are winning, like you're really happy. When you're not winning, you're not happy. People think, people's thoughts of you is they know when you're winning in life and they know when you're not. So maybe a lot of you can't hide your emotions either. So when you're feeling good, you show it. When you're feeling bad, you show it. Could even just be that. So that's sort of what I'm getting with the thoughts. So let's look at the feelings. All cups. So you have a lot of emotions around you. People feel a lot of emotions towards you. Again, I'm going to read this in sequence, so it's being read very differently to the other two piles, and the reason why, it's just because that's because of the sequence I'm seeing. Now, to have the Ace of Cups, the Five of Cups, and the Seven of Cups, people feel like because you bring a lot of love to their life, you bring a lot of like light to their life, they feel like they would only bring disappointment to you. They feel like offering you their cup of love would only lead to disappointment because you do have other options. You don't know what you're actually looking for yet. People feel like you're not sure if you want to be in a relationship, what kind of person you want to be in a relationship with. They feel like you could be sort of exploring at this time. People definitely feel a very strong bond with you with the Ace of Cups. You have a lot of romantic suitors around you. I think if you go out on dates, pile 3, you might think, oh, this person's not for me. But I feel like a lot of people who walk away from a date with you fall in love with you very quickly. Their feelings begin upon laying eyes on you is what I feel. And then the more they get to know you and get to hear your stories and your life, they actually like you fill their heart space with a lot of joy and a lot of light. Again, with the 5 of Cups, I feel like their feelings towards you lead down this path of it's not going to go well. Like if they were to come towards you with their love cup, it's only going to lead to disappointment because you have other options. You could have anyone you want to be is how these people feel. Why would they pick me? Like maybe people feel like you have them kind of at the wayside. You don't really take strong romantic action towards them. So they feel very disappointed or they feel like they've already lost you before they've even won you. I feel like you could be attracting people who just don't have that get up and go to like fight for their lover. And you guys deserve to be with somebody. When you're that person who's patient, you're giving, you deserve to be with somebody who is going to fight the world for you, you know, especially when you are who you are and what you do and what you bring to the table here. I think it's good that people realize that they feel like a connection with you is only going to lead to disappointment because you have other options. And the reason for that is kind of coming back to that energy of the doormat. Like it's good that although people can see you're very kind, genuine, you'll do anything for them, it's good that they can see that there would be a line if they, there is a line in the sand. If they cross that, they would lose you. So I feel like maybe a lot of you have had a lot of experience with that. People sort of abusing your friendship and your kind nature. Even the 7 of Cups, like they feel like you might actually attract a lot of people who are very damaged, who are going through a lot of grief and disappointment. And that could be because you are as well here with the 3 of Swords. So they feel like they don't know what they want with you because they are damaged. Like they know they feel like they could have a very blossoming romance with you, but they feel like the love that you offer is not a love that they've experienced before. So they're only going to ruin it is what I feel. Like people probably ruin friendships with you, romantic connections with you because they've never really experienced so much love before from their parents, I would say. So yeah, that's what I've got for you guys. That's where I'm going to leave it. But I hope that message found you well. Sending much love and light. Bye.